Back at it now on 9/11. Reflecting as you see the people gathered in New York City. And reflecting on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Still no custody, no suspect in custody, I should say. No suspect in custody today. We'll keep you posted as we follow the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I would hope with our high-tech resources and the abilities we have in law enforcement that a suspect can be taken into custody soon. 2 people were taken in and questioned and released. Meanwhile, Democrats in Michigan playing politics. By the way, they asked for a moment of silence in the state house yesterday. 2 Democrats refused to stand, and it appeared as if they were sitting there snickering. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way it appeared. At any rate, Dave Prestin is a Republican from Cedar River, state rep, joining me now. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Was I mistaken? Did I see 2 Democrats sitting there snickering in the aftermath of the assassination of Charlie Kirk?
To tell you the truth, when we were standing, I had my head down. We were having a moment of silence and prayer, and I did not look over to that side. I don't know that they were doing anything disrespectful. I know them both, and it just, that because they're in the Democrat Party doesn't mean that they're evil people. And at this time, I can't really comment on what their motive was, and what their distraction was.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So meanwhile, we do not have a budget put together, and time is running out here in Michigan. There is other news today that we do need to cover. That is the budget of Michigan. It looks like the Democrats want to shut the government down, and if they do, I say, will I even notice?
Well, there's a feeling of incrementalism that's giving me a little bit of hope. The Senate was steadfast against any type of a roads funding package to the tune of right around $3 billion. And just lately, we've heard that the Senate has started to embrace the idea of a roads package. A lot of the budget negotiations is going to revolve around this roads funding package. And, I'm hopeful that, especially an event like what happened over the last 3 days, starts to wake people up and take them out of this hyper-partisan position that this nation has seemed to find itself in, and start to talk in good faith, because the people need unity. They need a sense of purpose, and we need to move on and do the work that we're here to do.
I agree with that. What would it look like? Apparently, the state government of Michigan has shut down a couple of times, once for 2 hours, once for 4 hours, back in like 2008 or 9. Honestly, I don't remember it. I don't think anybody remembers it. I don't remember the state government ever shutting down. What would it look like? What would it mean? The state parks are closed? I mean, what services like police and fire, they're never affected by this sort of thing. What would it mean?
Well, we early in the session, we passed an emergency funding mechanism that is still sitting in the Senate chamber and could be passed to backfill and fund all essential services across the state should there be a shutdown. We did that under the thought that there may be a push on the Senate side to advocate for a shutdown, and we wanted to get ahead of that. We have been at the table seeking negotiation, seeking common ground with the Senate to try to get a platform, a thought process together where we can all come together towards a bipartisan budgetary solution that both the governor, the Senate, and the House can agree to. We continue that effort. That being said, we are prepared in case the worst case happens. That funding mechanism is sitting in the Senate. And if the government does shut down, at the end of the day, the executive, Governor Whitmer, has the ability to decide what gets shut down and what does not. So I move forward very cautiously, optimistic that we will find common ground and we will do the right thing for the state of Michigan.
I hope we do. It's time to find some common ground in this country, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
I sit here on 9/11 and I sit here shell-shocked. I don't know how else to put it.
You're right. So much has happened over just these last 3 days.
Right.
That horrific incident on the subway, yesterday with Charlie Kirk, and today with the memories of 9/11. This has been 3 days of trauma for the country, and it needs to stop. It does. It needs to stop. Everybody needs to take the temperature down.
I agree with that, Dave. I do. But it seems to me I don't remember outspoken leftists getting gunned down. It doesn't come to mind for me. I don't
No.
remember assassination attempts on Kamala Harris. I remember assassination attempts on Donald Trump. I saw Charlie Kirk get brutally assassinated in front of 2,000 or more college kids in Utah yesterday. We all saw it.
So many of us champion critical thought, and just pushing away from groupthink. And Charlie was one of them. And when I look at my daughter, who's in college right now, and there are so many kids that look to Charlie Kirk and others like him that gave them a voice where they felt they didn't have one, or gave them a voice where they felt they couldn't speak up. People like that are incredibly important to this new generation. I said a long time ago as a paramedic through COVID that COVID was going to wake up a sleeping giant in our youth that were stuck at home, that were denied their scholarships, that were denied their sports opportunities. And it was going to show them exactly what government run amok could do to their lives. And I think we're seeing that right now. And the other side is in a spiral that they know they can't get out of. And what does anything do when it's cornered? It lashes out in the most violent way. And I think that's what we witnessed yesterday. Kids are waking up to the reality of what runaway government can do to their lives, can do to their families, can do to their hopes, dreams, and aspirations.
Very well said, Dave. And I do believe people are waking up. For a lot of folks that were not particularly political 24 hours ago, they got a very cold slap of reality yesterday. And I think it's going to be a moment that changes American history. Dave, thank you for being here.
Agreed. Thank you, Steve.
We'll take a break. When I come back, Ivy will be back with us as we round out this day and try to make sense of the senseless. Try to make sense of somebody being murdered for their thoughts, comments, for exercising their free will as an American, to be gunned down in front of thousands. I'll be right back.